What's going on, guys? I'm back with the final review for Power this season. Before we get into the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to comment, like, and share. I'm gonna just be honest. I thought the season finale was the worst show this season. I didn't like it at all. I didn't like the direction they went in. They took it in. We got no Tariq, so we don't know what Tariq is up to at this point in life. And I mean, honestly, in my opinion, we got too much Keisha. I could care less about her. I mean, I just didn't like it. I know that may be a surprise. I know a lot of you guys out there really enjoyed it. I mean, it was a good show, but it wasn't, as far as content, storyline, I just wasn't feeling it. We could have done a lot better. So, the show kicks off. Basically, Tommy is doing a whole bunch of coke. He's in his feelings about his daddy, as usual. Also, we get Tasha in Raina's room. She's looking very sad. Ghost goes to Angela's crib looking for Angela. He ends up calling, leaving a voicemail. Then we get a scene back at the DA office where basically Tamika, Mark, Sachs, Donovan, and everybody, and then we have Angela's lawyer. I forget, he was a special guest, him and MC Light. But anyways, he's Angela's lawyer. They are there. Basically, Tamika, Mark, Sachs. They basically presenting all of the evidence that they have against her, linking her to Ghost, James St. Patrick, the Lobos murder, and also the Mike Sandoval murder. You know, the ex-FBI Fed who was working with Lobos, who was dirty, who was gonna flip, and yada 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 yada. And as they sitting there, they know they don't have any evidence against Angela. We know they don't have evidence against Angela. Even her lawyer knows they does not have any evidence against Angela. It's all speculation at this point, and honestly, a waste of my time. Because show me some evidence. Show me some evidence that you have proof of her working with St. Patrick and Egan, and why she's, you know what I'm saying, being accused. I mean, other than her relationship with Greg and Sachs has been after her ever since then. Like, show me some evidence. So then they go on to offer her, let her know, like, this is the deal. You flip on St. Patrick. We can't guarantee you immunity, but we can relocate you, put you in the witness protection program. And I'm just sitting there the whole time like, y'all must be thinking Angela's stupid. You have no evidence. All you have is a whole bunch of theories just based off of, I want to, just motive because I want to get back at my best friend because she broke my best friend's heart and he ended up dying. Like, this. That's what I took from the scene. No evidence. So how am I supposed to feel? If I'm Angela, Angela even told him, she said, y'all don't have any evidence. Like, these just a bunch of theories that y'all throwing out there and hoping I bite. And so anyways, moving on, we finally get Silver. I could care less that he came back at this point. So he goes see Tasha. And, you know, he just want a chance to explain his actions and why he left. And then he goes on to tell Tasha that, you know, he had to leave because James said he would expose their relationship and lie about how long they were, you know, in a relationship together and all of that good stuff. And Tasha just basically like, just go. Like, I can't right now. I can't right now. And then she receives as he leaves, she receives a text from Angela. And I'm going to get into that later. I promise y'all. So then moving on, Keisha is at Tommy's door. She beating down the door. She want to know what's going on. She want to know why she haven't heard from him. And y'all know I could care less about Tommy and Keisha's relationship. It is just a waste of time. I was fine with every so often we giving Keisha some showtime, but if she's gonna be Tommy woman, I'm just not with it, man. The guy's unstable. he aggravating. Like, I'm just not here for this storyline. And I just, anyways, long story short, he ended up telling her to leave, because he always ends up hurting the people he's closest to. And she just like, F you, Tommy. You know what I'm saying? Peace out. And then as she's leaving, Tasha texts Tommy and was like, we need to meet up. So then we get a scene where Ghost and Tommy, they both in the car, they going to meet Tasha, right? And Ghost obviously knows there's something wrong with Tommy. He could just see it on his face, and he knows. He already knows. You know what I'm saying? It's just like at this point in time, I'm just saying to myself, is Ghost trying to, celebrate the victory of his plan going through and having Tommy kill Teresi and all of that good stuff? Because I just kind of like, you should have just left it alone, Ghost. Like, you should have just, what's going on, brother? You know what I'm saying? Just like, he was just, and I just kind of felt that, like, he was just trying to celebrate the victory that he just had by hearing Tommy tell him that he killed Teresi, because Teresi, you know what I'm saying, was a snitch. And then Ghost goes on to say, I thought you learned your lesson with the whole Holly situation. And Tommy told him, man, don't talk about Holly. And Ghost would just say, I'm saying we're brothers and no one can come between us, right? And I'm just like, okay, Ghost, like, why is that even necessary to say? I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I think he was just trying to showboat, you know what I'm saying, for a matter of words. Because it's done. Just like, let's just move on. So finally we get to obviously their old high school, elementary school, I don't know, and Tasha meets Angela, and Tasha asks, what are they doing there? And Tasha also tells Angela that Silver is back, and he's asking a whole lot of questions, And Angela asks her, is Silver still in love with you? Because we may need him on our side, given all of the events that have transpired, right? So basically, Tasha was like, okay, I get it. So I need to keep, letting him get in my drawers until you tell me otherwise, right? So anyways, they go into a classroom to meet up with Ghost and Tommy, and obviously everybody's in shock. Like, Tommy's like, what she's doing here, T? Like, so Tasha was like, she texted me, said we need to meet, so we need to listen to her, right? So Tommy was like, check her for a wire. So obviously Tasha go check her, and so Angela already know, like, Angela, after all this has gone on, y'all still don't trust me. And Tasha said, you just like Ghost. You put yourself first. And Ghost like, why we talking about me? I ain't call this meeting. Don't put me on the spot. And so, Angela proceeds to write on the board all of the evidence that she seen when she was in the interrogation room or whatever room that was, and she just letting them know how each and every person is linked to each other, how we're all gonna go down, because this is a repo case or something, like, I forget the federal term for it, whatever. So she just write on the board how everybody is linked together, and basically she just saying, look, they just trying to get us to flip on each other, and as long as we don't flip, we'll be good. So, she, like I said, she lays it out how basically they trying to link the Lobos and Mike Sandoval case, the murders on both Ghost and Tommy, and that she was an accomplice. And so Tasha was like, it was either Tasha or Tommy was like, what does Angela have to do with that? And Tommy was like, she made sure that we knew that he was in jail and that he knew a lot about us, so she knew that we would take him out. You know what I'm saying? All of that. And Tommy was like, oh, Angela, don't forget to put your name up on the board. Like, you linked to this as well. So Angela basically put her name on, and was like, basically, I'm linked to it because they believe I told you guys about Mike Sandoval involvement, yada, 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 right? So then moving on, we back at the DA office, and they are talking about the case. Mark, Zach, Tamika, and the rest of the team, and basically they are talking about Tasha's involvement and also who is the weak link. They're trying to find a weak link, and who could they flip? And obviously they it's Keisha. It's Keisha, of course. And so then we get a, quick scene, it was kind of a back and forth scene when Angela is basically telling Ghost, Tommy, Tasha, who they need to handle and make sure that this person does not flip. And then we get a scene back at the DA office, Silver sitting down. So I'm just like, he's talking about something, I'm only here to clear Tasha's name. And I'm just like, man, we have been 3 or 4 weeks without him. Did we? We knew he had to die. Like, did we have to bring him back? Like, couldn't we just wait till next season and he pops up? Like, and then the fact that he's working with the DEA to basically bring down the St. Patrick family and Angela and Tommy, like, it was just so predictable, and it just like I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. So, anyways, during the meeting, Tommy wrote a note to Tasha, basically said we need to kill Angela. Y'all know he any chance he get to kill anybody, he jumps all over. So after the meeting, everybody go their separate ways, and obviously James follows Angela, and he going down memory lane about, I like how, we met up in our old school, and I can't wait that all of this is over so we can just run off and be together. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, do we really have to do this right now? We are looking at all of us going to prison, and you want to go down memory lane, talk about the good old days. Like, it just irritated me for some reason. Like, I don't know. Then, she goes on to tell James that if she wanted to save herself and snitch, she would have did it last night, and this meeting would have never happened. And I'm just like, touche. You have a point there, Angela. You have a point. Then we get a scene with Dre having sex with his baby mama, his daughter. Finally, we get a scene with, like, we've been missing Dre's daughter for probably about the entire season. Like, nobody has tried to kidnap her or threaten him through his daughter. Like, but anyways, she makes a quick appearance, and then we get a quick scene where I guess Alicia's seeing some of her guys in to kill Dre, and Dre and his baby mama handled the situation. And I was kind of impressed with Dre in this moment in time, only because I'm like, he I guess he got a few skills when it comes to, when his life is on the line. And I'm just like, okay, so he ends up killing all the guys, and he goes in their pockets and he see the death card, and that's how he links it to Alicia. And so at this point in time, he tells his baby mama to get their daughter, go to her mom's house, hide out, you know what I'm saying? Don't get in contact with anyone or anything like that. And he'll, let her know what's up from there. Moving on, we get a scene where Tate is at his headquarters for his governor's run, and he gets a visit from Mox. Is it Mox? Yeah, I think it was Mox. He pays him a visit, and he wants to talk about James, and basically like telling Tate, like, look, you need to separate yourself from James because it is all about to come crumbling down. And he also told him that he wants him to be an informant for him to get information on James. And Tate was just like, look, I don't know what you're talking about. Then he goes on to tell Tate, like, if you do this, we'll, overlook the dirt that we have on you. We've ran the numbers on James Club and the Queens Project. We know what you do. So I'm just, at this point, it's hard to know what Tate's gonna do. Whether he's gonna flip, because he's another guy that's loyal to his own cause, and we just don't know what he's gonna do at this point. It was kind of up in the air. So that was the end of that scene. Then we moving on. Tasha pays a visit to Keisha because obviously Angela assigned Keisha to Tasha, and he assigned she assigned Proctor to James, and I don't know who she assigned to Tommy. Probably nobody, because she know that he just an emotional wreck, and he don't need to be trying to convince nobody not to flip. But anyways, she goes to visit Keisha, and Keisha is still mad about having to give Tasha alibi a couple times, right? I'm not here for it. Keisha and her feelings is just irrelevant to me. She's like basically going on and on. Like, Tasha, you come here asking all these favors. You want me to always do something for you, but you don't never want to do anything for me. You come in, you talking about this. You haven't even asked me how I'm doing. You haven't even gave me a thank you. And I'm just like, you just want to feel so important, huh? You just want to feel so important. I'm just not here for it, man. Like, maybe it's just me, but it just aggravated me. She was like, can't you tell I've been crying? And I'm over it. And so, she just going through all of that. Tasha was saying, I haven't been the same since Raina passed. You know what I'm saying? I apologize. Then Keisha apologized, like, girl, I know it's been tough. And then Tasha hit her with this, so you gonna lie, you good, you solid, right? And so Keisha was like, just get out. I can't deal with you. You making me mad. All you thinking about is you. And I was just watching the show, and I was just like, let's not make Keisha important. She don't sell drugs. She don't kill nobody. All she do is provide alibis. So as Tasha is leaving, she texts Tommy and tells Tommy to get his woman in line. So then Angela, she goes to meet with Dre. Basically, Dre is afraid now because Alicia sent some dogs at them. So he like, I need witness protection. I do whatever you want. Yada 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 yada. Angela tells him, I need you to basically sign a confession saying that the Jimenez cartel is responsible for the Lobos murder and the Mike Sandoval murder. And Dre was like, why would I do that? It was Ghost and Tommy. Like, no. So, long story short, because he's running for his life, he agrees to it, right? He agrees to it as long as she gets him witness protection. And she was like, is there anyone else? He was like, yes, my daughter. We can do without the baby mother. And Angela was like, oh, really? So that's how you is? Oh, Angela was just like, boy, you ain't about nothing, bro. You fake, you phony. So then Silver comes see Tasha again. And Tasha asked him why did he really come back, and he's still in love with Tasha. And telling Tasha all of this about the case against James, and tell her that she needs to divorce him now so she can stay out of prison for her kids, and it'll give them him and her an opportunity to be together. And I'm just like, why did he have to come back on the season finale? What Tariq at? Where is Tariq? But anyways, and he goes on to say you'll have to flip on James, and then she's asking like, what would I have to testify about, right? And so he basically was like, everything is going on, and in my mind, Tasha is thinking she knows that he is working with the feds. In my mind, that's what I was thinking, because how she was looking at him and how she was like asking all of these questions about how he know all of this stuff and all of that. In my mind, she kind of knew, but maybe she didn't. I don't know. But then moving on, Saxe pays a visit to Keisha. She's walking up the streets of New York by herself, in a mood. She's still sad and mad about Tasha and all of that. And so, he goes and see her, and he talks about, hey, I know Tasha and Tommy has been running their money through your club, and she basically like, I don't F with either one of them, right? And so he tells her that if she gets Tommy to flip on St. Patrick, that he'll give her a deal. And I'm just sitting back at this point in time like, what crime has she committed other than being associated with Tommy and Tasha and James, as friends and as his lover? Like, what has she done? What crime has she committed? Like, you don't know that she's lying about, the alibis that she's giving, because if you did, you would have charged her with perjury a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Then, she goes, hey, look, as he tells her all of this, like, if you flip, I give you a deal, yada, yada, yada. She tells him, Tommy ain't no snitch, and neither am I. And I'm just like, why would you say that, dum-dum? Like, you kind of, you playing into his plan. Like, That's what he like. You basically telling him that it's something there by saying nobody's a snitch, instead of you just saying, I have no idea what you're talking about. Try somewhere else. Like, I guess her and Tommy made for each other because they just dumb. Like, I don't. It just aggravated me. Why would you say I'm not a snitch and neither is Tommy? Like, why? Like, you telling him, you giving him information with that statement, whether you know it or not. So then we get a scene where Proctor pays a visit to James, and obviously Ghost checks him for a wire because the last time, and then he goes to tell him he's not a witness against him anymore because of the whole wire situation. They cleared me, but Angela and Ghost goes on to tell Proctor that Angela is not against me either. She got my back. She always had my back. And so Proctor goes to tell him how the feds are trying to link all of them to the Lobos and Mike Sandoval murder. And, he tells James that Silver is back and that he's working with the feds. And Ghost is like, Silver back? Like, out of perfect timing. He just fall from the sky, and he would return on the episode where they try to get everybody to flip. He would return in. And so basically, Proctor gives him a scenario about him flipping on Tommy. And it's basically saying that he ordered the hit on Mike. And Ghost was like, no, but keep thinking of ways to get us out of this situation and leave me and Tommy out. And my thing is, as much Ghost be scheming, don't get me wrong, but he loyal to everybody who he affiliates himself with, from Tommy to Tasha, Angela. He, what I'm saying? He try to make sure everybody stay out of harm's way. At least that's how I feel. Then moving on, we get an irrelevant scene where Angela goes meet with her sister. We haven't seen her sister on the episode in how many seasons? And she come in to preach to her about, Sax, Mox, and Mox came to pay her a visit, told her everything that's going on, how she need to take the deal and leave James alone. I ain't got time for that. I don't. She ain't been on the show in like 2 or 3 seasons. Let's not give her any, let's not. So then we get a scene at Angela's apartment, and then she walks in, guess who there? Ghost, James. And I'm with Angela like, bro, we under heat. The feds watching us. You don't need to be here. And she asked about Proctor, and he asked about Dre, and I'm just like, bro, you like go so in love with Angela that he just making all the wrong mistakes. Like, come on, man, like, why are you there? And so he asking her, he trying to talk about, what life gonna be like after all of this is over, which I could care less about. You know what I'm saying? And Angela tell him we'll always be running from something or someone because of who we are. So they end up hugging each other, and Angela's like, this feels so possible right now that me and you can exist, that we can be together, but I know outside of these 4 walls it'll never happen. And Ghost was like, it can, and it will. And she was just like, what if Tasha is right about the both of us? We only do what's best for us. We only try to save each other. And Ghost was like, not this time, because we're saving each other now. And I'm just like, it's too much going on. It's too much heat going on at the top with the feds for us to be worrying about love storylines. Whether it's Keisha and Tommy or Ghost and or Silver and Tasha, let's get to the meat of the episode. Let's make this, it's a lot. Let's turn up the pressure from the feds and make us feel like somebody is going down. I didn't feel that at all this episode. So then we get a scene, Ghost, where James, he goes to meet up with Tate. It's the groundbreaking for the Queen's Project to honor Raina, and basically Tate lets him know that I got paid a visit by this fed named Mox, and he told me, disassociate myself from you, and he basically tells James that he's not going to announce his running for governor here anymore, and Ghost assure him that everything is taken care of, that I promise you, man, everything is taken care of. Get up there, make the announcement, all of that good stuff, right? So, Tate goes up there, he makes the announcement, or whatever the case may be. He was like, I'm running for governor, and all of this. So then he introduced James as his partner, and he gets up there, says what he says about Raina. He invites Tasha up there, all of that good stuff. And then as we see from the audience, we see a familiar face from season 1, and they also tried to bring her back in. They reintroduce her at the beginning of this season, Maria Suarez, And at this point, I'm just asking myself, why is she there? If you're so afraid of this man because he killed your boyfriend, he killed your boyfriend, and he spared your life and let you go, why are you in the presence of him at all? I just don't understand. For whatever reason, it just made me mad because I don't understand. I just don't understand for some reason why. You know what I mean? Because if you're so afraid of him, why are you there? Why are you still in the presence of him? I think, excuse me. But anyway, so then after that, what happens? Ghost is walking Tasha to the vehicle, and he asks her, why didn't she tell him Silver's back? And she gonna play dumb. Tell me, I didn't know he was back until now. And he tells her, well, he's working with the feds, stay away from him. And I'm just like, Tasha, y'all need to be on the same page at this point. Eric, your life is in danger at this point as well. Just not Ghost and Tommy that's facing jail time. It's you. So it would be best if y'all put all y'all cards on the table and just talk about, just tell each other everything that y'all know. Anyways, Keisha come, we get a scene with Keisha. I'm not here for it, man. I'm really not. Keisha come back to visit Tommy. Obviously, he reached out. And at this point, Tommy just trying to see if she a rider. Tommy was he basically tell her, this all the scene was, because I don't even want to talk about them two. He basically tell her that if you don't want to, at this point, Tommy just trying to see if she loyal, if she down. He basically tells, because she telling him about the lawyer that came and visit her and what he said, all of that and all that. Tommy ain't trying to hear that. Tommy just need to know if you solid or if you gonna snitch. And Tommy tells her, look, if there's not a life for you, you can snitch. Tell. It's the best thing for you and your son. And the whole time, Tommy easing, he pulling the gun out from up under him, because if she says she gonna snitch, he gonna kill her. And on the inside, I was low-key hoping that he kills her so we could kill her character, because I don't know, man. Maybe her character just starting to aggravate me for some reason. I don't know. But anyway, she says she won't snitch. She all in. She with him to the end. So moving on, Dre goes and meets up with 2-Bit to grab some cash and let him know about Alicia sending a hit out on him, and let him know that he's about to leave town for a little while and he needs some more cash, and can he get the cash, right? And so he tells 2-Bit about the deal with Angela, and basically he told her that, telling 2-Bit how Angela want him to, snitch on Alicia and put the 2 murders on Alicia, and that he's not going to do that when she gets him in that room or whatever the case may be. He going to tell the truth about his ghost, his timing, and, throw them 2 under the bus so they can go to jail. And 2-Bit just whole time looking at him like, bruh, you is not about to snitch on 2 OGs. That ain't how we do it. 2-Bit was looking real off this entire scene, like he had something up his sleeve. So then we get another scene where Silver pulls up on Tasha in the parking lot, right? I'm over it. And she asks him how he knows so much about about this case. And he lets her know straight up, I volunteered to work with the feds to clear your name. And all you got to do is flip on James. And then she tells him, I cannot send my kid's father to jail. And she tells him that he need to find another way, burn Angela. And he said, I can't, because I already told them that Angela told me about Mike Sandoval being in jail and yada, yada, yada. And she would say, well, burn Proctor. It cannot be James. And I was, and then she was like, you can't let me down again. You done let me down once. And at this point, I'm just like, she back in love with this irrelevant guy. He's so irrelevant, man. His character is so empty. I would have just felt better if his character would have reappeared on next season. I don't know. Then they end up making love in the parking lot, and as they doing what they do, Ghost is watching everything, and I just can't hear. I was just kind of feeling the ways that Ghost just didn't pop out. Just pop out and let them know that you see him. Let your presence be known. Then we're moving on. We get a scene where 2-Bit goes to meet Tommy, and he telling Tommy how Dre is planning to snitch on him and Ghost, and all of this and all of that. And basically, Tommy is just questioning Two-Bit, like, why you telling me this your man? And Two-Bit telling him, man, Kanan told me that if something was to ever happen to him, that I need to come work with you because you real, or whatever the case may be. And he was like, I see why Kanan messed with you. So he asked Two-Bit to step out of the car. He need to make a call, and I believe he ends up calling Angela. We don't really know who he calls, but I think it was Angela. So then, moving on, next scene, Dre goes to meet with Angela. He walks in to their little meeting spot. Angela. The next thing you know, a shootout starting to occur, right? And I'm just saying to myself, because Dre shooting these guys left, I'm just like, Dre may be more of a gangster than I give him credit for. That's the only thing I'm thinking about, right? So then, he knocking them off left and right, shooting. And then finally he ends up getting shot in the leg, or in the thigh. And then he sees a window, and he goes run out the window, and then as he runs out, black van pulls up, and there's some feds on the inside. They let him in. They basically like, look, you signed this deal saying that the Jimenez Quartet ordered the hit on Lobos and Mike Sandoval, and we'll get you in this protection right now. He thinking. He like, I don't know. I'm just like, bro, sign the paper. Sign in blood. And it was Angela's little boyfriend that's a fed up in D.C. I forget his name. But anyways, he ends up getting him to sign because basically he said either you sign or you get out. And the way it looking, you might want to sign. So he ends up signing, and then we get a scene where Two-Bit asking Tommy, like, man, why didn't you kill him? You had him. And so Tommy was like, you know what? Boom, boom, boom. He shoots at the van. And those shots right there immediately made Dre sign the deal. And so Tommy was like, man, bump all of that. That Dre taken care of, or y'all ready to make some money now? And then they was like, shoot, we ready to make this money. Because Tommy got the product with nobody to move it. Then he texts, and then he get a text from Angela, and Angela let him know he signs it. So then moving on, Silver lawyer, which is, I think his lawyer is MC Light. MC Light pays a visit to a judge, and we got Angela lawyer in the back. I forget his name. Then Marks and Sachs, and they basically just letting Marks and Sachs know that we have a deal. We have Andre Coleman, who has let us know, signed a plea deal saying that Alicia from the Jimenez Quartet ordered the hit on Lobos and Mike Sandoval. And of course, Sachs, he can't believe it. He going crazy, yada, yada, yada. He just getting on my nerves. I'm just like, Angela found a way, y'all. My girl has found a way. I like Valdez, and I think the reason I like Angela is because, look, forget about the relationship she got with James. But my whole thing is, she has had multiple times where she could have just saved herself and saved herself only. And I know a lot of you guys like, well, if she didn't do this, she wouldn't have to be. Cool, fine. But she did do that, and she still chose to save everybody else. And to me, that stands for something. And so the judge, asked MC Light, about the deal that Silver made with the DA. And she basically said, well, he was pressuring into it. Like, these two cats over here, they do a great job of pressuring you into it. And so anyway, long story short, the judge was like, he's going to have to testify and own up to whatever it is he told Marks and Sachs about information that Angela gave him, or whatever the case may be. And so she asked, where's Silver? And she was like, well, he should have been here by now. I don't know where he at. And I just can't help but think to myself, really, Ghost? Really? I mean, I'm happy, but really. But anyways, moving on, we get a scene. Marks is packing up his belongings, and he said, man, this case is over, Sachs. I'm done. It's over. Angela never pulled back her recommendation from the job in D.C. I'm out of here, and Sachs is begging him not to go, saying, man, we still got leads we can take, and I'm gonna go hit the streets and start shaking stuff up. And Marks is like, man, bump all that. What you talking about? I'm going to D.C. to have some power. And I'm just saying to myself, Angela, you did a horrible job this time. You should have made it. I'm okay with you giving the recommendation so he can get out of your house, but you should have told him straight up, like, look, I'm only going to send this recommendation in if you leave. Point blank period. Because we all knew He was playing both sides of the fence. He wanted the recommendation, and he also wanted to bring Angela down. But anyways, he leaves, and Sax hit the street. So then we get to see somebody's at knocking on Tommy's door. Him and Keisha and they're chilling, and there's nobody other than Sax. And this is where I'm about to go off, because this is where I really start feeling that this episode was a waste of time and it was not that good. So, long story short, because I want to get into it. Sax, like, I want to show my condolences for your father being murdered. And he basically, like, I want you to know that, Angela and James are responsible for your father's murder. And he's like, that's not true. My father is a snitch, so he deserved whatever it was he got. And so Sax played the recording of Teresi snitching on Ghost and not Tommy, and he leaves it with him. And not Tommy and his feelings. Just pissing me off. And now he's second guessing everything. Then we got Keisha coming around like, now I know why you say you ended up hurting everybody I love. You don't even know the story behind Tommy and Teresa and how he just met his dad. You don't even know the history. You don't know anything. Shut up. Also, she goes as far as to say, this is why we got to leave Ghost and Tasha alone. You don't know anything. Once again, shut up. You don't know the history of the crimes and the murders that Ghost and Tommy has partaken in. You just a girlfriend. Like, just shut up and just let's write her off right now. I'm tired. This episode has made me so upset and irritated with Keisha. Let's just get rid of her, man. And so Tommy's crying, and he talking about Ghost could have came to me if he knew that my dad was a snitch. I'm just like, the entire time your daddy was out of jail, Ghost has been telling you cannot trust him. Be careful. He knows too much about us, and we don't know how he got out of prison from a life sentence. He has been talking to you this entire time, but you have not been listening. I'm just like, this is what the episode, it just starts making no sense to me. Tommy is not, I don't even know what he's thinking with. He obviously not even thinking with emotions, because emotionally, you live by the street code. Snitching is unacceptable. So now you basically saying, because that's your daddy and he wasn't snitching on me, that it's okay for him to snitch on, he should have been living, because he wasn't snitching on me, he was snitching on my best friend. That makes no sense to me at all. Like, it made no sense to me at all. Then Tasha goes to see Angela, and she leaves the door unlocked. And Angela talks about, it was a great thing that you did by convincing Silver not to show up. And Tasha was like, that was never my plan. I didn't know. And she was like, are you and Ghost working together? That's something that he, that y'all put together for him not to show. And she was just, and Angela was like, no, I thought it was you. Next thing you know, Tommy comes in with the gun, with the silencer, and now these two working together. Now they got their own motive. Tasha get on my nerves. She just fall in love. She forgot that this man left her out in the dry, and her life and her family was dependent on. Now she want to seek revenge on. Then Tommy, he forgot that his daddy was snitching, despite he wasn't snitching on him, but he was snitching. Like, come on, like, in what world do you believe that bringing down Ghost is not going to result in the bringing down you? Like, but now they want to kill Angela, and I'm just like, this makes no sense. This is ridiculous, man. I'm just like, Tasha and Tommy need to sit down somewhere. They so emotional, they overreacting, they making the wrong decisions. It just didn't do it for me, and I was just very disappointed. Like, this is really the direction we're gonna turn to, Tasha and Tommy teaming up, because they are so emotionally offended by things that has transpired, that should have transpired. For one, your daddy was snitching, and you live by the street code, so whether that's your daddy or not, that's unacceptable. Number two, Tasha, this Silver left you hanging, and now you wanna, I'm moving on, man. I'm moving on. So then we get a scene, before I move on, Angela talks her way out of it. She was just like, you guys need to get those photos back, because I took them, and that will link all of us to Teresi's murder. So they had to let her live, right? Then Tommy goes see Vincent, asks Vincent where did he get those pictures from, and obviously Vincent tells him that it was Ghost, it was his friend in the suit. And he told Tommy that that Ghost told him that if he showed him the pictures that you would take care of the problem, and he ends up giving Tommy the photos. Honestly, I'm Vincent snitch. Like he told a little bit too quickly for me. But moving on, Angela goes to meet up with her lawyer, and he basically tells her that the case is not over. That Maria Suarez, the witness from season 1, and who they reintroduced at the beginning of this season, is willing to testify against Ghost, and he's talking about then he asked, I'm sorry y'all, I'm trying to get these notes right. Then he asked Angela, like, why is she protecting no, not he. And I'm just saying to myself at this point, after what you just been through, why are you still protecting Tasha and Tommy? They came to kill you, but yet you still are willing to protect them. And my thing is, this is why I like Angela. See, she is loyal. But see, Tasha, Tommy, they talk about Ghost being loyal to his own cause. What are y'all doing? And the cause that y'all trying to be loyal to makes no sense at all to nobody. So moving on, Proctor pays a visit to James, basically letting James know he heard that it's a female witness, and it has to be Angela. It has to be Angela. So he's driving the narrative that the female witness is Angela. So moving on, James go meet up with Angela at the little school again, and basically he asking all of these questions. Then he finally bring it up, like, I heard that it's a female witness against me, and is it you? And she says no, it's Maria Suarez, blase. And so long story short, she asked him what happened to Silver. Did he kill him? And he promised her he didn't, and all of this stuff. And then Angela was like, this is over. We can't trust each other. Angela 24 hours runs up. Then, like I said, he tells Angela that he didn't kill him. Then we get a flashback scene of seeing Ghost killing Silver, which we all knew, right? He just slept him to sleep. And then obviously they start kissing and whatever. He loves Angela, and I'm just not. This episode could have been so much better. Then y'all know we seen the spoiler scene. It was going around all internet, the power groups, if you guys are in them. Well, Tommy is trying to shoot Ghost, ends up shooting Angela. We know she's gonna survive because next season is gonna be Ghost, Angela. I'm gonna say next season is gonna be Ghost and Angela trying to amend the relationships with Tommy and Tasha, and Tommy and Tasha gonna be trying to kill me. That's what I think is gonna happen. But man, this episode was a dud for me. Like it was just, and you can hear it out in my voice as I was going through the entire, like, each scene. Like, it was a dud because nothing important happened. There's no pressure on anybody that the FBI, the Fed is gonna come down on. We got no Tariq. Silver showed back up, which in my opinion was bad timing, and the way he showed back up to snitch. Excuse me, we could have saved that for next season, especially since we didn't end it here. That the investigations are still going on. I just thought this season, it's especially the last maybe 3 or 4 episodes has been so great that the season finale, it let me down. It let me down, man. And maybe the episode where Kanan died should have been the season finale, because this episode was horrible to me from start to beginning. And I'm just not here for Tommy and Keisha. I'm not here for Tommy and Tasha teaming up because they upset that your man that left you, that wouldn't stick up for you, is now he's disappeared, he's gone, and your daddy was snitching. Like, you live by the street code, so you trying to avenge your dad's death makes no sense. I'm just not here for it, man. This episode didn't make any sense to me, man. This was probably the worst episode this season. I know a lot of you guys are gonna disagree, but that's just how it felt when I was watching it. But anyways, until next time, that's all I have, guys. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to like, share, and comment, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.